but as you could tell from the design, no worries. And then, yeah. I wish I could go back to the simpler times. Yeah, who cares? I just use the phone again, I guess. "2016, 7 years ago, the last of 16:9 phones, the pinnacle of 16:9 flagship phones. There were two in particular that I think aged well to the point that people are still making software on these, and these are the Samsung Galaxy S7 and the S7 Edge. Now, phones have come a long way, and if we take a look at my current daily driver, the Galaxy S21, you can see how not big the S7 is, and that's alright because small phones are my cup of tea. But I'll not be replacing the S21 to use the S7 for a day. Instead, I'll swap out the replacement of my S7 and replace it with my S7. Repeat that again if you fail to catch it, cause I don't want to say or hear myself say it again. So yes, my SE replaced my S7 and is to be replaced by my S7 again. After popping in the SIM in, here's something to note. The phone is not running on its original software. It's running on a Note 9 ported ROM, which we'll get to. It definitely has a battery clinging on Lifeline, and this ROM unlocks a hidden potential to the Exynos version, which we'll get to. Also, don't be a freaking dummy, this is a S7, not a Note 7, you know, the one that explodes? Well, this one doesn't. Two ways to tell is that the Note 7 has an iris unlock and a pen. Now, let's begin. Day 1, nothing spectacular, just me and the phone all day with my S21 as main. Shockingly enough, I use my S7 more and I also don't know why either. Either way, as I was using the S7 for a day, I found out it has to be recharged twice in the afternoon and one more time at night. And that's because I switched on hotspot on the S7 to provide for my laptop. Other than that, it's like a good old Toyota, you can never go wrong with it. Second day, I feel like I'm living in 2021 cause the S7 is seriously a good phone back when I used it to the point I upgraded to the S21. My issue with it though, however, is the fact that the S7, S7 Edge and Note 7 phones all have a fingerprint reader at front. Now that's all fine and dandy until you realize that after some use and abuse, the paint covering the readers actually rub off and cease to function after a while. While these readers are pretty snappy, I want the phone to look near perfect. And that's why there's a piece of tape covering the reader. In the long run, the tape will not wear off quickly and eventually end up with a phone that has no working reader. As such, the one drawback is that the reader does not read my finger as well since the piece of tape kind of interferes with the recognition. But to be fair, my SE 2022 never really liked recognizing my finger, so does my Note 9 and my S21 if you anyhow have a protector that does disrupt ultrasonic readers on the S21. Speaking of screens, the day is where I rediscovered how much I love the screen on the S7. And after the S21, my opinion remains unchanged. The S7 easily destroys the SE when it comes to screen resolution, literally doubling it while being 6 years older than the SE and still somehow besting the S21 resolution as well. I don't know how. The S21 underused more than 2 years, in my opinion, has a great display, but the S7's panel is still the sharper one and can be quite noticeable when viewing smaller items like my icons. And now you see why I purposely set the S7's font to be this razor thin and sharp, but when it comes to audio, this is where the S7 starts to show its flaws. And one of you actually, the screen share as heck is a work of art, but the speaker is teeny, or should I say, speakers. Cause the Note 9 ported ROM, you can make the once mono speaker on the S7 a dual stereo speaker setup. Note that it does not do surround sound like true stereo speakers on the SE, Note 9 and S21 does. You know what these three phones have in common? Great haptics. Of the three though, the SE has the best one as it's the most firm of the bunch. But how does the S7's haptic compare? Nope, just nope, it can't. Now, despite being a Z-axis like the Note 9 and S21s, the Z-axis motor is way smaller, feels springy instead of firm. And did you know that if you modify the frame and the motherboard of the S7 slightly, you can actually stuff the Z-axis motor into the phone using the S21's motor and have the S21's haptic phones on the phone as well. Now you know. Day 4. While the reader works sometimes, I feel like there's something's missing. No, if only the S7, like the Note 7, comes with some kind of lock that you can stare at the phone which unlocks. While the Note 7 has iris unlock, the S7 has none. And let's change that. After messing around with some Magic module, this one brings face unlock to the S7 on custom ROM. Now tell me that ain't cool. Day 5 passed pretty quickly and I have no comments on the day itself. I do have to say though, face unlock worked really well, and even if it's not native to the phone. Now, if you don't know, the Exynos S7s actually have the ability to record videos in full 4K 60 using the rear cameras. What I'm pointing at is the buttery smooth videos the S7 and S8 Exynos models can actually achieve, and keep in mind that I'm using a custom ROM to achieve this. The video quality may not be as great as the original ROMs. And so, enjoy this test clip. Day 6. I want to make it a point to let you all know Android phones may have the community support behind their end-of-life support from their respective makers, but it depends on the reliability of the ROMs. How so? Well, Lineage OS 19.1 actually ran super well on my S7. User experience on Android 13 makes the S7 feels like a mini toaster when charging, and One UI 2.5 Android 10, while it is perfect for a Samsung phone to have a Samsung experience, the first time I flashed this ROM on my S7 took a toll on the S7. Remember how I said the Pixel experience made it feel like a toaster? Well, for the first time, One UI 2.5 is flashed on my S7, it felt like the sun. Not just that, the phone had 1 hour of screen on time under light usage, throttles like crazy as well, but hey, if you want your S7 to feel like a S20 Exynos 990, that's how you do it. Either way, second time's a charm. The battery life does get me 4 hours screen on time instead of 1, doesn't heat up like the Exynos 990 S20 phones, and is actually usable. Point is, if you know what you're doing, ROMs can revive some life into old phones, but if you somehow made a mistake along the way, reflash the ROM. It'll solve quite some issues. It ain't a mistake if you subscribe and like the video. I didn't ask halfway, but I asked near the ending of the video, right? See? That's the quote I have. Subscribe now or else. Now, all good things must come to an end. As I spent the last evening with this week of re-experiencing the S7, I came to learn that sometimes an old phone is still better than a new phone. For a start, a headphone jack. Though I no longer use it, it can still be a lifesaver if you need it. For example, some cars need an audio jack to play music from your phone out loud. This 2016 balls to the walls phone has expandable storage, while there's none on the 2023 balls to the walls S23 Ultra. Heck, not even my S21. And the S21 didn't even have a 2K display. Heck, where's the heart rate monitor I use quite a lot? Taking selfies and measuring my heart rate when maining the S7? Now look, Exynos 8890 is an old processor, but that does not mean it's no longer capable. It's definitely mouse slower than S21, which is fine, but I'm happy with the power it still provides. I'm also shocked by the screen quality even for this phone. 2K Super AMOLED, 855 nits of max brightness, and if you take this S7 and compare the sharpness to my father's S23 Plus, which I proudly paid for him because it let me have the S21 back then, S7 躺赢 S23加尴尬. Of course, the S23 Plus is mouse faster than the S7 and is faster than the S21. But there is some things the S7 has that both the S23 Plus and the S21 does not possess. With all this said, I still prefer my S21 since it's definitely a more capable and future-ready phone when it comes to efficiency and speed compared to the S7. If only Samsung re-releases a S7 with a glass fingerprint reader instead of the painted one, USB Type-C, 8GB of RAM, 128GB of external storage, Exynos 2100, improved haptics and stereo speakers, and improved cameras, and keep all the features present on the S7 like MST, heart rate monitor, SD card slot, 2K display, and in reverse wireless charging to modernize it further, and then sell this for $600 SGD. There you go. 1 week with a 7-year-old phone. It honestly wasn't even that bad at all. If anything, it's a cool experience. If I tried this on a J1 2016, I'll die. So there it is. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you all soon.